Lions TV, this is your post-match analysis video for Saturday's 1-0 win over Stoke City at the Den. It was tense, it was a cauldron, brilliant atmosphere, thunder, lightning, tackles flying in. It was a proper Saturday of football, how I want it, how we all want it, how it used to be. And it was a massive, massive relief when we got the fucking job done over the line. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still emotional. As always, let's start by taking a look at the 11 that Gary Rowett picked to start the match. Okay, so before we get into the lineup, I'm going to go into the aforementioned emotion that I showed at full time. I've got a lot going on in my own personal life at the minute. I'm not looking for you to get the violins out, but my emotions are on the edge. I've just got a lot going on personally, which I never mention my personal life on the channel, but I have. And on top of that, I had a few, well, more than a few beers on Friday. So, hungover, already emotional, and then the topsy-turvy ups and downs. And I got in the box at full time and I went, I'm fucked. One of the boys said to me, you ain't done nothing. He did laugh after, so I hope he didn't mean that. But yeah, look, it was a draining day. Up, down, emotions. And it did really feel that at full time, that relief. And I know I said as well that in the full time, it seemed like we've just saved ourselves from relegation. It seems silly to be so emotional so early in the season. But look, the club does mean that much to me, and that's what I've been missing. I love doing the videos. I'll always do the videos. But that's not fair to say my heart's not been in it. But I've become routed. I know what to expect under the manager. And it just doesn't excite me anymore as my Saturdays used to. I know we was in a different division for a lot of the time under Neil Harris. And I'm not taking anything away from the job that Gary Rowett's done, but I just don't enjoy my Saturdays as much, and I really, really enjoyed that one. For those who will be saying, and have said in my social media posts, you'll be saying Rowett in now he's won. I never said Rowett out. I said it a long, long time ago. And I'm going to give Gary Rowett credit. Okay, because all I said was I want him to just smell the coffee, understand what it's about, and get going at the Den. But I'm going to give Rowett credit, because I was thinking about this yesterday. He has made some good signings at this club. He has made some good signings, even, you know, thinking back to George Evans and Keith Beld and Mason Bennett and Scott Malone. You know, when he got those players in, especially I remember when Keith Beld and Evans come in, we was in a bit of a state then. That's when we was on that during COVID. That's when we was on that long streak without a win, and I feel they came in at the time and did the job, and they give us a little lift, a little bit of kick, bollock and bite, and they done, you know, they served their purpose at that time. So I'm giving Gary Rowett credit because he signed some good players. However, up until yesterday, or Saturday, sorry, I don't feel he was using them in the right way. And that is a criticism for him. You know, he signed Joe Bryan as a left wing back. He signed Ian Fleming. He signed Kevin Nisbet, Casper De Norre, who obviously was injured. He signed others. And I just feel that if you're going to sign them sort of players, then use them in the way that's best for them, you know. Adapt yourself for their game and not vice versa. But look, on Saturday, getting into the starting 11, I said 4 at the back, always at home, Gaffer, 4-4-4. Because, if I'm honest, never in a million years did I dream that he would go 2 up top. It's a long time overdue. Here is the starting 11. Sarkic in goal, 5 at the back. Norton Cuffy come in for his debut at right wing back. Joe Bryan returned after concussion at left wing back. Ryan Leonard come in, and that was the key for me. I did bang on about that in my preview. We'll get onto that in a minute. Alongside the skipper, Sean Hutchinson, and Jake Cooper, who signed a new long-term deal at the club, and my God, was he at it on Saturday. They all were, really, other than one player, which I'll get onto in a minute, in my opinion. Billy Mitchell, alongside George Saville, as I already said, no, Casper De Norre still out injured. And then Ian Fleming in a 10, behind a strike duo of Tom Bradshaw, our top scorer, who was phenomenal, by the way, and Kevin Nisbet, who, of course, got off the mark with his first goal for the club, official goal for the club. And I'll get onto that, of course, later in the show. I'm honest, I thought they all did well. I didn't think Ian Fleming played particularly well, although he had a hand in Nisbet's goal. For me, the key was Ryan Leonard in that back three. I said in my previous show during the week, or in the Gary Rowett reaction video, I had some really good feedback from people come up to me personally, by the way, at the Den on Saturday, and thanks for that. I will try and do more of those as we go through the season, if we can get a little bit more content out of the club. I know it's been on a paywall. I might consider signing up, paying my money, but I don't think they'll be happy if I break that content up and put it out on Lions TV. So I'm going to try and work something out with that. But yeah, look, getting into the lineup, Leonard was brilliant at centre back in what he does. is he travels with the ball. Someone said as well in their video, which was right, he probably gives the other two a bit of confidence because they know they can give the ball to him and he can travel. And he was travelling with the ball and he was dragging the back line up the pitch. He was giving Billy Mitchell an option, then being available to receive the ball back again off Mitchell, as well as Norton Cuffy bombing on. Billy Mitchell made loads of forward passes on Saturday, some really good ones, some killer balls as well. So he does pass forward if there's someone to pass to and there's options in front of him. I thought he played well. Like I said, they all played well. Fleming, I think, is the only one who for me, wasn't really at it. And the goalkeeper, but I'm going to get onto him later as well because he definitely redeemed himself and proves my point that I'd rather have a goalkeeper in goal that can save a ball as opposed to having a good kick and diving out the way of fucking shots. Okay, so let's get into the game. I thought for the first 10 minutes, we was very, very nervy. We looked like we had come off the back of 3 defeats and shipped a lot of goals, and I was worried. And the crowd, as I said in my preview again, that we're on board. We was loud. Fair play to the Stoke fans as well. They made some good noise throughout the day. They must have been very frustrated with the opportunities they missed, but they kept at it. They packed out their way in. Our crowd was a little bit down. Understandably, the weather wasn't great. Travel restrictions as well, and of course the last 3 results probably played a factor in that. But it was as loud as it's been in a while at the Den until the 10th minute. Boom! Someone pulls the plug out. But we sort of, after that 10 minutes, another 5 minutes, maybe about 20 minutes in, we really started to find our way and we started to knock the ball back nicely. Norton Cuffy was getting involved. He will be a good player for us. I'm not knocking him. Him and Leonard at times on different wavelengths. One was making a run, one was holding back, looking for a shorter pass, and then maybe not making a run when Norton Cuffy thought he should and Leonard didn't knock him in. But they ain't played together and they need time to build an understanding, and I'm sure that will carry on now. That little duo down that right-hand side, and they'll get stronger and stronger. But it was just a breath of fresh air, wasn't he? And he gave us that balance as well. We looked very balanced. As I said, Danny Mack's more of an out-and-out right-back, and Brian's a left wing-back. So we sort of have that imbalance. And if anything, we was overloading it more on the right than we was on the left, and we created chances. Mark Travers in goal. Looked like he was going to put pace to us. He had a good go at it in the first half. Zian Fleming's free kick from distance, well saved. I think there was another one where a shot comes out, and Bradshaw pounces on it. Stoke defender heads it over the bar. On top of that, the corner that comes in, Jake Cooper ain't scored for a long time, and it would have been very poetic if he'd got his head. Well, he did get his head on it. if Travers hadn't managed to save it. Great save from their keeper. And we're heading towards half-time, you think, fuck. We don't take our chances. We're going to get done with a sucker punch. We know exactly what's going to happen here. But it didn't happen. We get a throw-on right over where I was, pretty much where Bristol City's throw-on was when they scored against us in the last minute. Ryan Leonard has actually got a long throw. Ian Fleming hasn't. But this one slips out his hands, goes miles in the air, and looks like it's a complete fuck-up. Somehow it works out. Flicked on by Fleming, and Nisbet brings it down cool, calm, composed. I think Gary Rowe actually said in his post-match that it looked like that was happening in slow motion almost. And he just passes it past Travers, doesn't snatch it through a fucking bodies galore, and it's a really good goal, and I'm buzzing from he's off the mark. Yes, I said play Bradshaw instead, but I will be honest, that's because I didn't think the gaffer would play 2 up front. And he's done this before, Gary Rowett. I'm sure we've been here before. Okay, he's played 5 at the back, 4 at the back, where he's gone more attacking, and then slowly but surely he's took it back off us without us really noticing. So I hope he doesn't do that, because surely that's a more exciting way for him to play, to coach his players. And they was at it. They was absolutely at it. I don't know what he said to them pre-match, but they were all completely motivated. I think Cooper was, obviously doing his bit as well. I know Hutchinson's the captain, but I still think, he was out when he was out. Cooper was captain. In my mind, Cooper's definitely more of a vocal figurehead and a leader on the pitch than Hutchinson is. I still love Hutch, of course, but I just feel that Cooper was really the driving force, behind us. He was flying down the left wing at one point. He had the fire between his belly. Look, they all did. I can't really single anyone out. But if I have to single out 3, I could only give you 3 because I couldn't narrow it down to 1. It would be Cooper, Leonard, and I thought Bradshaw was absolutely phenomenal. He was running the channels, working so hard. Kevin Nisbet does as well. And I wasn't sure, but if I'm honest, if it would work between them 2 up front, but it definitely looks like they could kick on with his partnership. Forgot to mention as well, Bradshaw, his hold-up play's got a lot better. He's winning a lot more headers. Headers where he's low, he's backing in, he heads it down. He actually set up Adamo Maku for his goal at Norwich. I forgot to mention that in that post-match. So buzzing to see Bradley's back amongst it. And we finally got the breakthrough. That put us into half-time. I didn't realise, and this is why I always leave it a day or 2 to do my post-match analysis, that Stoke actually made 4 changes at half-time. That's unreal. And they come out with more of an intent the second half. They had to give their fans something. Their manager, Alex Neil, obviously wasn't happy. But people were saying at half-time, in and around me, don't sit back on this. Don't rest on our laurels. Let's keep pressing for it. And I felt we did. I felt we kept coming forward. And we had some very early chances. We had plenty of corners. We was getting balls into their area. After that, Stoke got back into the game. Now, I'm going to defend Rowett here and the players because I don't feel that we sat back. I just feel that they went out so hard in the first 45 and for the first 15 of the second half that the pendulum was going to swing, the momentum was going to change, and Stoke were going to get their opportunities. And they come back into the game, I said, brought a big following down. They've been doing well up until this point. And they had chance after chance. Gaps started to appear at the back. In my opinion, Joe Bryan looked like he gassed out. He looked like he needed removing. And Rowett does the right thing. He doesn't wait until they scored. He waits until they haven't scored. And he brings players on. He changes it up. He went to a back four. And I was happy with that. I was happy with every contribution from the manager on the day and the players. I didn't even have a problem with Vogelsammer coming on because I felt at that point, I don't rate him, but he will graft and drop back in and give you the German, wouldn't he? Like, just be drilled, well drilled, very fit, and do exactly what he's told to do. So I thought we got it over the line well. Bodies on the line, throwing into tackles. Jake Cooper, Ryan Leonard, the club broke some up and put them out on their social media. It was an off day for Stoke in front of goal. Did they deserve their point? Yeah, probably. But look, two things. The goalkeeper's scaring the shit out of me because he doesn't look big in goal. He can't kick. He comes for crosses and flaps at them. He's like Dracula. He don't like crosses. What he does is he's got this thing that I never used to do as a kid. It was like a new thing when I was a kid, when goalkeepers started to come over from the continent, because obviously in the early 90s it was mainly all English players, Scottish, Irish, but Schmeichel started to come over and people like that and do different things, and they come for crosses and punch, or someone would shoot and they punch. I never liked that because I think it's hard to judge, but Sarkic does it. When he comes for crosses, he tries to punch. Shot sometimes straight at him, he punches, and it's not for me. However, I don't care if he can't kick the ball far. I don't care if he gets a pass back and shanks it and it bobbles to the halfway line. What I care about is my goalkeeper being able to save the ball, and he probably done himself and his confidence a massive favour, because that shot towards the end was heading towards the top corner. Still scared the shit out of me because he punched it, but it doesn't matter. He got it right. It's so much easier as a goalkeeper. If you dive just to get a touch and just to redirect, flick your wrist and it'll just go over the bar. But he punches it miles away to safety for a corner, and it was a really, really good save, and I'm pleased for him because we paid 1.2 million for him, and I'm sick to death of moaning about our goalkeepers. It was a great save, yes, and I'm telling you now, 2 or 3, especially Ben Burton Diaz's goal on the last day of last season, that was a lot weaker. That was a lot more central, and Sarkic saves that all day long, in my opinion, and it just proves that George Long had to go. It doesn't matter if your goalkeeper can kick the ball. Not really. It's not a fucking deal breaker. It's not life or death. Sarkic proves his worth, earns his onions, and punches one wide. And then from the ensuing corner, I think, and maybe a couple of minutes later at most, more goal-mouth action. It's actually hit the post, come back, and then the Stoke player, I don't know what he'll have to tell his grandkids how he managed to miss that one. I don't know, but look, we got a bit of luck. We got what we deserved out of the game. If they had scored that, hand on heart, I wouldn't have complained at the end, because they gave everything. Even though it was backs to the wall, even though Stoke pressed us in the second half, and I felt they was always going to, I don't think that we sat back. I just felt that, as I said, the pendulum had swung and they was having their attacks. It was all in. 1 for all and all for one, all in, team togetherness, bodies on the line, and they got the response. The gaffer got the response. He can't say that we wasn't right. That is what we have to do at home. Whether it's 4 at the back or whether it's 5 at the back, we have to go attacking and go for the juggler. Harness the crowd. Everything I said, if I'm going to blow my own trumpet, yeah I am, was fucking right. And he did pretty much everything I said, other than he went 2 up front. As I said, which I didn't think he would. And it's not just me. Look, I'm not fucking trying to take the credit. We can all see it. Let's hope it continues. We got it over the line, and as I said, hand on heart, if Stoke had have equalised, I honestly couldn't have had a problem with it, because we just want our players to show grit, determination, and a fucking lot of Millwallness, and that's what gets us through. And it was fucking brilliant Saturday. Saturday's restored. Let's hope it continues. It won't be easy on Saturday. We're going to a bounce in Birmingham. They're back in business after a long time in the doldrums under new ownership, of course, of Tom Brady, the NFL star. So won't be easy up there. But if you go 5 at the back, gaffer, not a problem with it really. Keep Ryan Leonard in, and as long as the players give everything they fucking got, exactly like they did on Saturday, some of them might be off their game. That's understandable. They're only human, but they can give everything they got regardless. That's just in you as a human. If you want to give everything you got, then they can. And to be fair to Rowett, he shouldn't need to motivate him too much going into that now. More of the same, boys. More of the same. He might tinker with the shape a little bit, but more of the same. More fucking grit, determination, and full-bodied, full-blooded, going into every tackle for each other, for the fans and for the club. And it was brilliant. And we're back, a little bit of normality restored. 2 wins, 2 losses. And we look up now. Hopefully, transfer window shuts in 5 days. Will there be any business? I'm not sure. If there is, I'll be back during the week for a Den Daily. If you're a member of the YouTube channel, I forgot to do the giveaway. However, we are still within the month. So keep your eyes peeled on the community section. And I'll give the Casey Keller, the calendar, the pen, the 30 years at the Den, pen, diary, everything. I'll give all that away this week to a member. You can become a member in the link by clicking it in the description below. And all that's left for me to say is I hope you enjoyed your bank holiday. All back to work tomorrow, but we're doing it with a smile on our face. The Lions definitely roared in SE16 on Saturday. Let's hope they can build some momentum as we head to Brum on Saturday. Live on the telly once again. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.